came together in 2013 when we were all part of the same institute, and that is how we knew each other. So Zehra being the architect and Sabahat being the designer and me being the artist, we were teaching a studio together, which was an interdisciplinary cross-mediums kind of a studio. And we were, in a way, all new to the city. At different times, we have entered Islamabad as an outsider. Like a lot of people who are present today, you might be familiar with this idea that Islamabad as a city is not really a city that you sort of, not a lot of people call home and haven't sort of lived there forever. Or you can't say that, you know, my grandfather's grandfather's house was in Islamabad. So it's not a city like that. It has a different profile. And so we're very, very interested in the city of Islamabad and what the context of this city is. How can you call it home when the people who do live here, who are they? And what are their profiles? So we started doing these intervention projects into the city, and we came up with this small group called the Art of Small Talk. Was our first initiative when we came together and we saw that Islamabad needed more presence from the people who live here. So I think Creative Mornings is very similar in that way, that it is also an initiative in which tries to bring people together. And we were trying to do it with our community, the community of art, design, and architecture. And so Art of Small Talk came out of Zehra's basement, actually. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Art of Small Talk is basically started as an informal group of people gathering at each other's basement, apartment, or whatever space we could find. And we would share and discuss our works with each other. And we were doing a lot of projects as a result of these informal discussions. And the Tea Collaborative is one such project that developed into a series of works. And it started off as an experiment where we would invite a select group of people to come and have tea with us in somebody's apartment. But it was interesting because sometimes the guests wouldn't get tea at all, or they would be going through an experience of activities which would not conventionally be associated with having a tea party. And slowly we tried to be a little more adventurous, and since Hurmat mentioned that we're interested in Islamabad as a city and we wanted to do something, we wanted to mark our presence in the city in some way, so we started exploring the city and we took the tea party outside at different locations. And we used the tea party as a way to mark events happening in the city. This was a day before the Metro bus service was launched here, and this was one of the stations along the route, and we decided to enact a tea party here for an accidental audience. We had a passers-by who happens to be having tea with us, and we were taking ownership of the city by placing ourselves in these very iconic public areas. Another one of the episodes from this series is at the Lakeview Park, where we all know Rawal Dam has a very iconic value in between Islamabad and Rawalpindi, and we decided to have tea on a moving boat, where a lot of people on the jetties and people on other boats thought we were shooting a tea commercial, but actually we were just, you know, there having tea on a moving boat. This is again an image from one of the episodes, which is right outside the gate of the new Islamabad airport. They didn't let us inside, so we had to make do with this board, which marks where the airport is. And again, it's going to change the geography of the city, it's going to change the center of the city. So we wanted to mark this event. Well, this was last year, and it was supposed to be inaugurated last year, but let's see if it gets inaugurated this year or not. We might go there again and actually have the tea party inside. So as time progressed and we were doing these tea parties at different locations, we decided to be a little more adventurous and move out of our comfort zone of Islamabad and Rawalpindi and move on the motorway on our way to Lahore. So this is a junction between two roads on the main motorway. We're all alive. It was a very dangerous experience, but Yes, so this is an ongoing series of works, and I think one of our more iconic works is T-Chalk, which is also very relevant, and I think Sabahat, would you like to explain more on that?
So D-Talk happened after D-Talk is the third episode of the series called the Tea Party. And So each episode that we do, and in the series that we did, it follows a certain interest in the city, the people, and event. And each one of them is looking at either political or social context of the city, of the site, and of the happening. So D-Talk happened in 2015. This was right after Calgary protest and sit-in outside of the parliament. And so there were protesters. I think it started from 100 and it reached 2,000 protesters overnight. And that's when the government took charge of the situation. And that's also when we decided to take charge by intervening into it through tea. So after doing much recce of the site, of the place, we decided to use this burnt truck as an iconic symbol of the protest and also as an extension of the protest, since it was direct residue of that protest. So this truck, of course, made a really exciting backdrop for us. And at the same time, the passerby and were very curious. What are we doing? The tea happening right after the protest. Side way trucks delivering, and there's a huge tanker there watching these burnt trucks. And here we are having tea. So this is sort of an interesting site for us also. So
You want to show the other element?
yeah, thank you for reminding me. So there you go. I think we had a video, but so these are some of the images from that. So our tea happening was more of an extension of that protest, but that extension was, of course, taken in a very different way. We wanted the nature of that protest to change into celebratory action. So this was more of a celebration of what had happened. Well, actually, of what had ended by doing this tea in that site, and hence it becomes into this play of creating this visual anomaly. So we become an anomaly also because of the costumes that we wear, which are, of course, a repetitive practice in all of our practices, performances. So each one of us, if you've noticed, which of course you must have, we're following a certain attire language. So each one of us is wearing a certain type of attire, sari, a suit, a helmet, sherwani. And it's meant to look at the historic reference, of course, of the city, of our land, of course, Islamabad being the capital place. And this anomaly can be very symbolic. It can be interpreted in a very subjective manner as well, depending on the site, depending on the happening or the response to an event. And I think the next one. Sorry, guys, I have to apologize for my constant coughing into the mic. Okay, um, so we essentially do 2 or 3 different types of performances. There are the first type that we were looking at, which are the episodes of the actual tea parties that got conducted on sites. And this practice is a very site-specific practice that is not for invited audience, it's for accidental audience, as Bahadur Zair was mentioning. And then we, obviously there are opportunities when we have to present our practice in specific, the white cube context. When I say that, I basically mean art galleries, museums. We get invited to perform as part of the performance and art sort of groups and circles in different cities. And this performance was held in Lahore at the Tasir Art Gallery last year in November, and it was part of this exhibition called the Performative Gestures, which I curated apart with one other person. And and the idea is that how do we take something that has happened in a specific space at a specific time into the gallery. And so the idea of the residue or the memory becomes very, very important. And we have to tell stories or anecdotes of events that can overlap with what actually happened on site. So there's a lot of reading that is involved in it, and we read excerpts from different literature and text, and we overlap it with having of tea, and it's also very interactive. So we've done a couple of these kind of performances, and the second one over here, you see at ILF, the Islamabad Literary Festival, that happened in 2015. And maybe some of you were there at the performance. So similarly, the performance is also sort of like it carries the residue of the actual on-site performances. And then the third category, if I may call it that, if I may venture out and categorize the work that we do, if there was a way to do it, would be the sort of presentation that we're going to give you today. And it's sort of like a 3 times removed from the actual, because it tries to embody the relationship between our on-site specific performances, the kind of text or research we conduct as the collaborative, what our interests are, and the city of Islamabad, news information about the city, and the intervention that we do in it, and obviously Proust. So if you will be wondering, that there'll be text that we'll be reading from sorry, what's that? Remembrance of Things Past by Proust, and that is a very seminal text for us, and we go back to it again and again because of how it sort of marries tea with memory, and how both of these things play a very, very important role in people and their lives. Shall we? I'm going to hand this over to you.
Places, events, and time.
Literature, poetry, and prose.
Origin. Many years ago, a chef to the royal king of India turned a few herbs and spices into a brew, served it up, and held his breath. Next thing you know, the world couldn't get enough of this spicy, fresh and aromatic tea that leaves you warm. It was the birth of a seriously addictive sip, and for centuries to follow, chai has worked its wonders on us all.
June 5, 2015, Pakistan Hotline. Metro bus service has been started from today in Islamabad, Rawalpindi, twin cities. It is the second metro bus service in Pakistan. Lahore Metro is already running since 2013. Ticketing booths, escalators, platform screen, toilets, doors for automatic fare collection, and all other facilities for passenger convenience are provided.
As I came home, my mother, seeing that I was cold, offered me some tea, a thing I did not ordinarily take. I declined at first, and then, for no particular reason, changed my mind.
Ingredient for chai. This serves 2. Preparation time 2 to 4 minutes. You need 3 to 4 teaspoons of chai, 250 ml milk of choice, 250 ml cold water, honey, sugar. Tools: heat strainer, chai pot. Temperature required 100 degrees Celsius.
October 28, 2016, Sama TV. The Metro bus service people use to travel in and between Islamabad and Rawalpindi has been suspended for an indefinite period. The decision came after the protest in Islamabad Thursday night turned violent. Patrons said the unannounced suspension interrupted their daily activities and is a cause of concern.
And soon, mechanically, weary after a dull day with the prospect of a depressing morrow, I raised to my lips a spoonful of the tea in which I had soaked a morsel of the cake. No sooner had the warm liquid and the crumbs with it touched my palate, a shudder ran through my whole body, and I stopped, intent upon the extraordinary changes that were taking place.
Making chai. Add chai in 250 ml cold water to your chai pot and simmer on a low heat for 3 minutes. Add 250 ml milk of choice and bring back to a slow simmer for 3 to 5 minutes.
February 26, 2016, Dunya.com. A ghost was spotted near Rawal Dam of Islamabad, which has spread a lot of fear in twin cities Rawalpindi and Islamabad. Especially people traveling to Murree are facing a lot of difficulty with such news. The ghost sighting was witnessed near Rawal Dam jungle. Islamabad police have enlarged the safety area, and people are directed to stay inside their houses after the evening.
An exquisite pleasure had invaded my senses, but individual, detached, with no suggestion of its origin. And at once, the vicissitudes of life had become indifferent to me, its disasters innocuous, its brevity illusory. This new sensation having had on me the effect which love has of filling me with a precious essence, or rather, this essence was not in me, it was myself.
White tea, one of the most revered of all tea. White tea is the least processed and the closest tea comes to its natural state. Delivering a yellow brew that's smooth, sweet, and refreshingly elegant, this tea type needs no guest appearances. So milk and sugar can take a backseat. And with minimal caffeine, you can sip away all day.
June 21st, 2014, Tribune.com. Though boating has become a popular recreational activity in the Rawal Lake, no safety measures seem to be in place to prevent boating accidents. The Lakeview Park is the only venue in the capital where people can enjoy boating. We are here for boating, but I will not allow my children to have a boat ride without safety measures, said a visitor.
I had ceased now to feel mediocre, accidental, mortal. Where could it have come to me, this all-powerful joy? I was conscious that it was connected with the taste of tea and cake, but that it infinitely transcended those savors could not indeed be of the same nature as theirs.
Green tea. As the world's best processed tea, green tea is either steamed or pan-fried. This is a little unlike black tea, which is fermented or fully oxidized, ideal without milk and best to drink on full tummy. This brews low on caffeine but will still perk you up.
June 4th, 2016, Jung.com. The new Islamabad International Airport having to support landing and parking of A380, the biggest passenger aircraft of the world, would be fully operational by June 2017. The first ever greenfield airport in Pakistan is being constructed near Fatehjung, some 20 kilometers from the center of the capital.
I drink a second mouthful, in which I find nothing more than in the first, a third, which gives me rather less than the second. It is time to stop. The potion is losing its magic. It is plain that the object of my quest, the truth, lies not in the cup, but in myself.
Black tea. Mention the word tea, and this is what most people think of. Arguably the world's most popular drink. Black tea has its origins in China, where it's known as red tea. Today, black tea is mostly cultivated in the former British and Dutch colonies of India, Sri Lanka, Africa, and Indonesia. With a touch of milk or sugar, black tea brews can shine bright.
January 20th, 2015, the Express Tribune. The site of the new airport near Fatehjung is almost barren, with no underground water available. Due to this, it was decided to construct a rainwater dam to cater to the need of the water for the under construction facility.
I put down my cup and examine my own mind. It is for it to discover the truth. But how? What an abyss of uncertainty whenever the mind feels that some part of it has strayed beyond its own borders. When it, the seeker, is at once the dark region through which I must go seeking, where all its equipment will avail it nothing, seek. Thank you.